It's Legends territory. Kratz, I'm Braun. And if you love what you're watching, if you're on YouTube, you can also listen on Apple or on Spotify. Just type in Legends territory. And thanks to the MLB Players Alumni Association for setting up all these great conversations, super candid, uncensored, the whole deal. And if you want more on your favorite former players, hit up baseballalumni.com. Let's roll in our next guest. He's fast as hell. He was a speed monster from the early 2000s. 14-year big leaguer, 2003 World Series title with the Marlins, led baseball in stolen bases in 2003 and 2010, finished inside the top 20 in stolen bases in MLB history. Juan Pierre is here, your boy.
JP.
What's up? What's up, guys?
Thanks for the time. How you been? And
I've been good, man. Thanks for having me, man. Excited to be on here with you guys.
Yeah, of course. He's got the whole deal behind him, too. Did you just get a fresh workout in?
Try. I knew I was going to be on with Kratz, man. Kratz was always doing all this stuff and had the ball in the middle of the outfield and throwing. He was a workout nut when I played with him, so I had to show it off that I was doing something at least.
Stop it, Juan. You got them old school pre-core things back there. You were always in there. You were in there before. Like JP was one of the guys that when I came up, we played in 13 together. No, in 12 together, 2012. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, I'm 32 years old. I'm just at the beginning of my career because I took a while to get up there. And JP's towards the end of his career. The next year, you went to Miami, and I told you can't go to Miami. You can't go home and expect to ever play again if you're not going to be at home because you were loving being at home. But I watched you every single day. And we were joking about before this, you playing pickleball and stuff. The way you prepared, I'm surprised you don't do some like ladder drill stuff just to get ready to go play pickleball and some hurdle stuff. You were prepared every single day. So don't put it out there that you weren't doing stuff. You got what you put in what you got out of your career for sure.
It was survival, man. Survival. I wasn't always the guy. I was, and when you got to baseball was trending another way, so I was headed out just because my game wasn't what I'm looking for, toward the back end of my career. But it was survival. By that time, I was a bench guy when me and Kratzy came, so I was like, man, I might get one at bat. I better be ready for it, or come in and pinch run, or the opportunity was late, so I knew I had to be that spot on, even at that stage of my career.
I want to get right to the longevity and the durability, really, of when you're playing and you're playing a position that can really take a toll on the body, and you play a style of game that can really take a toll and often can lead to injuries for players. So help me clarify here. Is it true that you appeared in 821 consecutive games, but some rule with a pinch runner separated that streak? Do you know what I'm talking about? Does that?
Yeah, no, exactly. Jack McKeon, man. Jack McKeon said we were playing the Nationals. You know what I mean? And I didn't start that game. It was whatever. I don't know. It was probably 400 or 500 games at that point. I don't know. And he pinch ran, but I didn't know the rules at that time. And then they said the rules, so I was like, oh, well. I wasn't trying to be Cal Ripken. I just wanted to be available whenever the team needed me.
Did that mean a lot to you at that time?
Yeah. It's just the fact of teammates, knowing that they can count on me every day. Like you said, I ran, diving back, getting picked off. I would have loved to only could throw over 3 times. I remember guys used to throw over like 8 times in a row when I played. But, getting jammed fingers, legs sore, but I always wanted to be out there for the guys and just to be able to compete. So it did mean a lot. One of my things that I love most in my career, I believe it's 2004. 2004, I played every inning in every game. And that's what I tell those guys that play now. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, bro, I just want to be out there every single game.
And it worked. You had an unbelievable career. If you look up your baseball reference, there's a lot of bold. Bold is good on baseball reference.
Hell yeah.
A lot of bold. And for players, that means a lot, especially when the left side is bold, where you got games played, you got GP. JP is going to have GP. And every day this man was out there till this goes just more to your character, because then we're going to get into like baseball stuff. Juan would go out there and I'm talking at you instead of talking with you, but Juan would go out there. He'd have his hat under his helmet for BP every single day. He would carry his glove when we stretched every single day. But the thing that really was a character thing for me with Juan, he was in the starting lineup. He wasn't a bench. You weren't an all bench player that year
No,
with the Phillies. Yeah, you were part time, maybe 3/4 time. He was out there for Group 3 every single day. He would stay out there on the road for Group 3 of BP, and he was in the starting lineup. Starting lineups go Group 1 and Group 2, and then they usually go in, catch a snack, and be out there early. JP was out there for Group 3, and I asked him why, and he was like, because everyone else is out here. Why shouldn't I be?
Yeah, and another thing is like you guys shag for me when I hit. Why can't I shag for you guys when you guys hit? So yeah, it was just something. It was second nature. Like I didn't do it for any other reason than trying to be the best teammate I could be. Always trying to pull for guys, even because baseball's so hard, and baseball gets so individualized where guys are just all about me, me, me. And I really always tried to put the team first. You get a little selfish as far as that, but I always try to put the team first and what I could do to help the team. And and it's the pores of you that like when you were older but younger guy to take notice in that. I wanted the younger, like Dom was coming up, we had Mayberry, all those younger guys to realize like it's about being a good teammate over all the other stuff. All the other stuff will come, but you got to try to be the best teammate you can be.
And you won a World Series, part of being why you were a good teammate too. That plays. And being a good teammate, you're a good man for the rest of your life. So that's a huge notch in your belt. Now let's talk about some other notches in your belt. And I'm not talking about ice cream that you were eating before games. I'm talking about stolen bases. Talk me through you stealing bases, because you and I talked about this a lot as a catcher. I always wanted to pick your brain to and you got one of your memorable stolen bases against me. I'm pretty sure you were out, but we didn't have this. You were 1 year away, but I'm pretty sure you were out, but you stole third base. Talk to me about what the game is now and how many bags you think you would have had in your prime, your best year.
Oh man, the way it's played now, even with what they call it, the pizza boxes bases now, without the throwovers on my good year. I mean, I would like to think I could have got to like 90. I wouldn't say 100. I think my best year was 68. So at least 80. I think I could got at least 12 more, 15 more with these rules in place, and especially with the technology too, because it's even better now of like picking brains of when guys are coming over and doing all the stuff, the leg work. But again, the stolen base for me, I mean, I really enjoyed stealing bases, but it was, again, trying to get in scoring position. I was trying to get to third base with less than 2 outs for the guy behind me. I didn't just steal bases to steal bases. It always was a purpose. I was trying to get, because you can steal all the bases you want, and you don't score the run, then it's all for nothing. So the main goal was to try to score a run and to make it easier for the guys behind me, so they didn't have to get a hit. But these days, I think I would like to say I would get 85 to 90. I wouldn't say 100. My on base wasn't that good, but 85 to 90, I think I could have pulled it off. But it's fun to see. It's fun to see guys running. Acuna's, I mean, he's unbelievable. So to see the stolen base back, definitely, it's fun for me to watch, and hopefully other people and to continue to trend that way.
Will this create more athleticism in the game in terms of the players that decide to play baseball? Because you might say, hey, dude, you're fast as hell. You can get on base good enough. Maybe, power is so valued, but maybe it's valued like a little bit less if there's a guy that's so freaking fast that he can put together 80 plus bases because it has become easier to steal bags. Do you think that helps the sport overall and actually creates players like that?
I hope so, and you got the big key component is the analytic part. The analytics say that you shouldn't do this or do that, then most teams don't. But I mean, it's helping that Acuna's on the Braves, and they're definitely scoring runs at an enormous rate. But I think so. Even with the shift, you got to get more athletic guys in there to try to even get to balls and stuff like that. So I think it's trending back to kind of like the '80s, the Ozzie Smiths and those St. Louis Cardinals team, Vince Coleman, those kind of. I don't think you'll get to that point because everybody ran in, but to mix it in, you don't want a whole team full of boppers. I think you got to have your speed guys. Of course, you're going to have your boppers in the middle and guys that can do a little bit of both. Hopefully, it comes back to more well-rounded baseball instead of just the exit velocity and the launching. I know I wouldn't have played. I know my exit velocity probably was like 89, 90 on most of my hits. I used to use a cracked bat on purpose, so I would dump in front of the outfielders.
What? It just brings me back to the different times that you would talk to me about, like, how everybody tries to get the good bats.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the telephone. I'm looking for the bat to just like soak that bat. Just
softwood.
Joystick it through.
Yeah, sound like newspaper. That's the bat I want. Yeah, because I would hit the ball with all my might. It wouldn't get to the warning track. Being out, they would catch. I'm like, that ain't for me, man. So I think that really helped me a little with my career. Because even in the minor leagues, I was like that. I'm like, all right, I gotta learn how to bunt, get on base. Because I'm hitting the ball with all my might. It's not even a threat of home run. So I better be, with line drives and balls on the ground and miss on top.
But now, I don't know if you remember. I don't know if this was just something that you said back in 2012. But how many power swings would you get a year? Because you told us how many power swings you would get a year.
I can't remember the exact number. Maybe 5.
Yep.
Had about 5 in me. And I would hate if I used one up when like the wind was blowing in or somewhere at a big park. I'm like, man, I wasted that swing.
Yep. There was a ball hit to the wall. And it was caught. It was a sac fly. So it scored the run. And it was to right field. And you said, you said, Kratz. I said, that was one of my 5 power swings. So it's not that you didn't have any power. It's just you didn't have a need for power.
Exactly. And you've seen it, Kratz. A lot of guys had that in-between power. And they try to lean on the power side, and they would go to batting 220, 240. I'm glad I never had that. I never had that temptation to hit for power because I knew the best case scenario I might get to 8, maybe 10 home runs on a really good year, and it wasn't worth it for me. But some guys would they could probably hit 20 or 15, and they would go all out and hit 220, 230, and they'll be going out the league in like 2 years.
Yep.
Do you ever wonder if you just power lifted your ass off for an off season just to see what happens? Like upper body, the tree trunk legs, the whole deal. Work out with some of those dudes that were just going crazy, especially in the early 2000s. What it would have turned into, or you're like, nah, not interested.
Yeah, I'm doing travel ball now, so I have like a 12U team. So this is the last year they're like in the 200 fields where they hit home runs. And I said, bro, enjoy it, because after I turned like 13 or whatever, I have never hit a home run again. Once they moved the fences back to 300, 315, I never hit home runs in high school. I never hit them in college. So I was never tempted to bulk up and do anything, man. It was. Know thyself. That's what they say in baseball. You got to know who you are. And our college coach said we got ants and bulls. We don't want bulls trying to be ants, and we don't want ants to be bulls. So I knew I was an ant early in my career, so I sold out to it. Now I would make fun. Like, that's one time you will see me smile on the field when I got 18 career home runs. I guarantee you, give me 5 more years, I can get that at two more to get to 20. Give me 5. I need about 5 years. I get to 20 home runs. But I always joke with guys, though. I remember hitting one in Petco when Petco first opened, and it was big. It wasn't when they moved to Fisher. They had Ryan Klesko, Braun, all these guys were complaining about the field is too big. So I happened to hit one out, man. And I came back in the day like, man, this is a bandbox, man. What the guys talking about, man? Field is so short. So I would give guys trouble when I did hit a home run. That's for sure. That's probably why I didn't hit them.
Yep.
Because I would talk a lot of noise, not to the opposing team, to my teammates.
You were motivating them, because then they're looking around like, damn, Juan's talking shit.
Yep.
I gotta get my shit together. Hey, you also had a 1-up on probably just about every teammate. Your name was dropped in a verse in a Jay-Z song. So can you take us through, first of all, I'm sure you know the line. So can you give it to us? Can you give us the background of like when you found out that you were in a very popular song?
Yes, this was like '06, so it was like 2 years, 2 years, 3 years after the World Series. But that's the only time I ever met or seen like Jay-Z, because he had like tickets right with the Yankees right on the visiting side there. And I remember going out on the field like during the World Series, and all he was like, "Hey man, slow down." I was like, "I can't," and that was it. That's the only interaction I ever had with Jay-Z. And then fast forward, was 2005 and '06 when the song came out. I was playing with the Cubs then. So my sister actually called because she lives in Houston. She's like, oh my gosh, you're in a Jay-Z and Beyonce. So I'm like, what? Not me. I mean, they may be talking about somebody else. They're like, no, they say your whole name. I'm like, no way. So of course back then it wasn't like, you guys couldn't go on Apple or whatever and find the song. You had to dig it up a little bit. So I got a teammate, Will Oldman. He was big on all that computer stuff. So I looked it up and it actually said my whole name, Juan Pierre. So I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I was like, I have arrived. It doesn't matter about World Series, no, you know what I mean? It's like big leagues, about 4 or 5 years at that point. Now you got dropped in the Jay-Z song. That's like you solidify, especially for the brothers. Brothers don't watch baseball anyway. So you play baseball, what? So I go back home and the brothers like, man, you in Jay-Z song. They're like, you the man now. They don't care about the World Series, none of that. It's like Jay-Z mentioned you good.
Would you rather be in the Hall of Fame or have your name
I
in
know.
a Jay-Z song? I'm serious. I mean,
Man.
for some people, like you're in a legendary rapper's song, that's more, well, I want to say more prestigious. It's more rare for sure.
Rare, yeah. For a baseball player to be in rap, what I mean? Usually they go the basketball, football routes, and it's Jay-Z and Beyonce songs. So it's like you got a double whammy right there. So,
yeah, I mean, you were for sure. We talk about rarity. We missed the stolen bases, and the strikeouts. You're you're the only one that was born after the Civil War. You were born just a little bit after that, just a little bit. That has 500 plus stolen bases and under 500 strikeouts in your career.
wow,
you know that?
Did not realize that. Well, that just go back to I know that just go back to the old wiffle ball days with my brother in the back. You used to play strikeout with your brothers, and wiffle balls like, bro, you got to put the ball in play. Like you strike out, like that's how you lose the game. And I kind of always, to a fault, because sometimes I wouldn't swing through pitches, especially the changeup. I would slow my bat up and ground right up back to the pitcher. Hated that part of it, but we're always taught, hey man, you got to put the ball in play. You can't strike out, like what I mean. So it was bred in me, and then younger, you would get laughed at and clowned if you like struck out a enormous amount of time. So hand-eye coordination, definitely, I was blessed with that, but it was that mentality, like I'm gonna fight tooth and nails to put the ball in play because I knew I had speed. So if I put the ball in play, it was going to give me a chance to get on base. But it was like tooth and nails, choke up, spread out, like visibly seeing me with two strikes try to do it. And my 2-strike swing from my 2-0 swing wasn't too much different either. It's trying to hit it, put it in play.
Wait, so I want to put a lid also on the rarity here of being in a song. First off, did you talk to Jay-Z or Beyonce? Have you ever had any communication with him or his team after the song came out?
No, none.
I feel like if you're in a song, Juan, like they owe some communication at least one time to be like, whether you have a number or someone on the team, like on his team, like an agent, a manager, whatever, just being like, yo, thanks for doing what you do and helping us make a hit record.
Yeah, make that happen for me, man.
I can try.
You got a little pool out there in New York or something, right, man? Come on.
It's more this. Foul Territory has some pull now.
Right.
So we can work on that on the music front because there's a couple other people we're trying to make music connections for. So
he's in sports now. You have like Rockware Sports. They have, I know Jazz
Rock Nation.
And stuff. Yeah, so we may do a remix. Tell him to get a remix in.
Stay tuned on that. Stay tuned on that. Okay. I think he owes you a little message.
Now has no clue that I was in the song.
Well, how often have you heard that? How often have you run that back? And let's say you're having a shitty day. Do you just like throw that on there and be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah. I used to run bass like Juan Pierre. That's it. And it's like right in the beginning of the song. So like for the youngsters, it's good. It's like, all right, they don't have to listen to the whole song. It's like, bro, it's right in the beginning, man.
Dude, that is awesome. It is
Yeah.
really cool. All right, we're gonna work on that and do some homework on that front because
I
I mean,
appreciate it.
I don't
It.
want that to go to waste. And you still hear that song, you know, like
Yeah, it's still
that's
played.
still played a lot.
Yeah.
You hear it in my household for sure.
Hell yeah.
Right.
That should be your ringtone, your doorbell, the whole deal, right?
You got the wrong guy. You got the wrong Juan Pierre.
Yeah.
If that Juan, maybe he was talking about a different Juan Pierre that hablas more Espanol or something. Like, no.
Well, take us there. So, how often have you had people come up to you and try and talk to you in Spanish when you were playing, especially?
Oh, it was probably 3 years into it. Everybody thought it was Dominican or Haitian. And it wasn't until like the World Series. 'Cause I came up with Colorado, and again, this is before like all the media coverage and all that. So I mean, every game the Dominican, hey, que paso, Bobby? I'm like English, man. I like from Louisiana, so I got like a slow draw English, like I'm like South English, you know. So funny story, because when we were winning the World Series year, guys used to catch cabs, one Ubers back then. So in here in Miami, it's a lot of Haitian cab drivers. So they'll be taking guys to the field that I know. They'll be like, oh yeah, we call a cab to the field. They're like, oh, where are you going to the stadium? So they'll be like, oh yeah. The cab driver be like, oh yeah, we have a Haitian Creole guy that plays for the Marlins. They're like, wow, really? Who is it? It was like Juan Pierre, and the guys would just bust out laughing. That was driving there. The guys that knew me there, they didn't have the heart to tell them that I wasn't like Haitian. So it was a running joke when they would come to the field. So, but here in Miami to this day, a lot of Creole, a lot of Haitian people love me. So I'm like, I'm not gonna break their hearts, man. Someone with the with the last name Pierre, somewhere down the line, I know I got Haitian and Creole and all that in me. So that's for sure. But yeah, it was I mean, for 3 years, people thought I was Dominican, like for sure. I mean, it's funny because most of the guys that I got close to, a lot of them were Dominicans. So they was Juancito. They always called me Juancito. I was Juancito to them. So yeah, I got that a lot.
He helped sell tickets. How
Oh,
many
in
people do you think
Miami?
were down there going, oh, I want to go see that Dominican player,
Yep.
Juan Pierre.
Yeah,
The whole Haitian community down in Miami was just like,
we got us
yeah,
one.
papi, we love Juan, we love this guy.
That's our guy. He's fast. He's a hustler.
Yep.
You know? They'll tell their kids, like, you got to hustle like Juan. You got to do your schoolwork, all that.
That's it. That's it, man.
Like, but Dad, I'm bilingual. Juan's not. I tried saying hi, telling him something in Spanish at the game.
Yeah. He had a blank look on his face.
Yeah, right? How do you think in Miami, the sport and really, I guess, the team, because the baseball's popular there. Like, how do you think popularity can rise more in Miami with the Marlins franchise? Because I feel like, I don't want to say they've tried everything. They've tried a lot, and they can't get it to this status of filling up the ballpark and making it a main event. I was down there, when LeBron took over the city for a while. And you just never saw that with any consistency with the Marlins. Sure, like, they've had a few good years.
Right.
Do you think that's possible? And if so, how do you do it? Like, does it have to be Ohtani? I've said this. Like, people are like, how do you get it big? I go, Ohtani has to be playing there, and they have to be the best team in baseball. Otherwise, there's so much shit to do. It's just hard. No matter where you put the ballpark, it's hard to get people to draw for 82 or 81.
Yeah. It's definitely. And from what I've seen from just being down here since, because it's always been my all-season home, it's like, it's a winner, man. Like, if you don't win for the baseball side of it, like, they don't come, And a lot of the fact that, I mean, it's usually the sixth borough down here. Like, everybody's New Yorkers, usually that's down here, or from a melting pot of other places, whether you're Dominican, Venezuela, Cuban. So it's not like they built up with this team. The team has been around, but like, as they gaining steam, as far as being here long enough, then you have more kids that grew up rooting for the Marlins, and they might become Marlins fans. But like, for the first 20 years, Guys will come. We'll play the Cubs. There'll be more Cubs fans here. Anytime you play the Mets, it will be more Mets fans. I think in the World Series, I mean, it had to be 40-60, maybe 50-50 Yankees to Marlins fans. That was in the World Series. And we didn't even get fans that year until like September, you know what I mean? Where we was like, all right, we're in the hunt. So I think it's just the winning part. And like you said, it's so much to do in the summertime. I mean, the stadium helped because it's not as hot. You don't get the hot and rain like you used to. But if you start winning, I believe they'll come. But other than that, I don't know. Maybe a Showtani will come here and bring. If you bring in the Showtani too, you hopefully going to win some games as well.
So if it's not winning, what else can you do down there? Or is it just this is just what you're going to do, and the next stadium they build after this one is just going to be smaller and smaller? Like, is that
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough because, like I said, you got more fan base coming because you got more younger kids that grew up. I get it now, like because of the 20th year of the World Series. So a lot of guys, oh yeah, I was 5 and 6 years old rooting for you guys, and then their kids become Marlins fans like that. Where '93 is a still small organization because new organization for us, the Rockies, even Tampa, like none of these people like draw tremendous. Colorado the draws pretty good, but Tampa doesn't draw. The Marlins doesn't draw, so it's just gonna take time. But they got a lot. I know they've drawn a lot more this year than years in the past because they had a winning product on the field. And they watch. They either watch on TV. I know all the Cuban people still listen to it on the radio. So it's definitely a big fan base. It's just they don't come literally to the stadium and you saw with the World Baseball Classic, it was packed out. You have like Dominican night or Venezuela night, it's packed out. They're out there just putting the winning product on and just continue to win. That's pretty much it.
I want to take you back to your playing days. So give me your favorite player that you either played with or against, maybe or someone you idolized. Then give me a player that drove you crazy, and you can go in any direction there, whether he was just insane that you played with or that always got you or you had a rivalry with. Give me some of the names that stand out to you.
Oh man, like players I played with, man, like great players. Like team, I got a different category, teammates and like just great players as far as athletic and just do crazy stuff. I mean, the best I've ever played with was like Larry Walker. And I'm biased because I was like a rookie, like second year when I played with him. But this guy could do air. He could hit for power, hit for average, throw guys out in the outfield, like sleep on the couch all day, and then just get up there and hit like 3-run bomb. Like it was amazing just watching him. So it was him as far as player. Miguel Cabrera was another one. It's like this dude was 20 years old batting in the cleanup spot in the World Series, and like you just knew it. Like it's no surprise he's had the career he's had because you seen it earlier. Craziest teammates probably was Dontrell Willis. He was, oh man, he was a position player in the pitcher's body, so he kept things loose, and he was one of my still one of my best friends to this day. But he was a crazy teammate that I have. I have so many teammates though, so it's crazy. Guy that drove me crazy. Randy Johnson was never a good at bat back in the day. When he was with Arizona, I mean, he was like 97. This one, everybody wasn't throwing 97, just like him and a couple other dudes. And I remember my first time facing him. Todd Hill and Larry Walker, all these guys was like not playing that game. I'm like, wow, what's going on? They're playing the unit. Like, you want to play? I'm like, I'll play. I'm like 2 weeks into getting called up. I'm like, I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna take every big league at bat I can get. So we go out there and I get like this before scouting report. I didn't know anything about. I was just going to play. They batted me like 8 that game. Got 3 hits off the unit. I'm like, oh, what they talking about the unit, man? So the next year I started reading the scouting reports, and then I think the next time went like 1 for my next 20 off of. I was like, so much for scouting reports. He just sometimes it's good to just not know anything. But Randy Johnson definitely was never a good at bat. When I was with the Marlins playing against the Braves, like they are now, the Braves seem to always be good. Always. They always put together a good team. It's always hard to win in Atlanta. They get that chop thing going, and it's just you go to bed listening to that stuff. So you hear that like just at bed at night. So those are some of the stuff. I mean, I can go on and on about players I played with and Kratzy though. This like Roy Halladay, like a guy that was just. I mean, he just knew everything about everything, man. He would be on the bus in the plane with a big book, just going over every hit. Like it's just amazing. He was in the back end of his career as well. And he's like, man, you still putting in that work. He was a guy I really respected from across, but then you got to play with him. Like, I see why he's so good, you know. And he was hurt and banged up when we played with him, but he was still prepared and really liked how he prepared himself for every day.
Now, you said Randy Johnson. You struggled against him in your career. You have any idea who you got the most hits against? Who did you own?
Own? Come on, man. You never like own anybody.
Come on, Juan. You ain't facing them anymore. You owned them.
I know I hit as far as like a Hall of Fame pitch. I know I hit Greg Maddux pretty good. I don't know what my numbers were against him, but I felt like I hit him decent. Who you got? You got somebody up there? You seeing something?
I mean, Maddux was okay. I mean, for Maddux, it was 342. I mean, bigger names than that. We don't have any bigger names. Kurt Schilling, you were 385 against him.
Let's go. Come on, man.
I mean, but Livan Hernandez, how you going to do? Hey, I know he wasn't your teammate, you know, when you guys were.
Yeah, but I love you, Miami.
Yeah, that was the Miami love, and you own that, man. You had 28 knocks against him.
Really?
What was the batting?
Evo, huh?
292, but
a lot of knocks. And I faced him. I think he faced him most when he was with the Giants, and I was with the Rockies and Dodgers, I guess, out there. But Levo on there now. I gotta see him because he does travel ball around here too. So next time,
let him know.
I will. Yeah, I'll let him know. I'll mention it to him.
Let him know.
Just go up, give him a handshake, and say thank you. I just wanted to thank you.
Yeah.
I never did that.
I gotta find the printout. I gotta do the printout sheet too. Like,
take a screenshot on the computer and just bring it in, and say, hey, dude, just wanted to throw this at you, let you know it's in stone. It'll never change.
Nothing about I got you. I got no bombs off of him though, so that stinks.
Yeah, that'll be his comeback, but
that's fair. No, and you only had one steak too, but you didn't get it.
That's not his job though. That wasn't his role.
He was the scorer. Ants and Bulls.
Yep.
Exactly.
Ants and Bulls. I don't need you to be a bull, Juan. I don't need you to be a bull.
You know what? Some teams need more ants. I'll tell you that.
Oh, for sure.
Right now.
Nowadays.
Oh my goodness.
For sure.
100%. Now.
That's why I think it's going to change, and I think some of the teams that struggled even in this year where the rules really changed big time for the first time are adjusting. Like I think like a prime example, like the Yankees, they're kind of an older team. They've said how they need to get more athletic. It's like, no shit. I mean, look at the way the game's being played now. Well, dude, it was great catching up with you. Appreciate it. I know you can get back to your workout behind. What'd you call that behind?
You can't
go without acknowledging the shirt you got on, Kratzy.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we can't get into it too much. I hope you know how much you meant in my career. Like I keep this shirt and I wear it. Like I coach high school baseball now, and it's like, the word is hustle on the front, but what are you hustling for? Hustle for the cross, hustle for 24/7. It's not like, well, you know what? I'm gonna hustle for this 2 hours and 10 minutes of our high school game, and I'm gonna make sure my drip is on lock. No, like it's and what's cool is I can tell people Juan P gave me the shirt and it was beast mode. I don't know what the legal word of because the whole Marshawn Lynch and everything, but you started this and it's. You lived it out. You lived out what this shirt means, and it's always just a great story for me to tell kids and be an example.
Yeah, and I appreciated you, man. We weren't teammates for long, but we had some real conversations, and that's why I love baseball. I love sports because you can get close to a person. Like it doesn't take a long time, you know what I mean? Because you're with the person, you eat with them, you shot. Like that's what the beauty of baseball is. And I always pull for you. I remember when you were in the playoffs, I shot you a text. I'm like, Kratzy, keep going, brother. You know what I mean? So it's always good to catch up. And anytime you got anything going on, man, you let me know. I'll be there on time next time. On time.
You were good.
But I really appreciate you and your family. And it's just been awesome to see how you've grown as well, man. And it's awesome to catch up and just do these type deals with you.
No doubt.
And now he's in the next phase of his career.
And
he's a media superstar now.
I'm not surprised because he had that gift for the gap.
He did.
He had that, and he has that like dry humor type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He'll get you going too, and you believe it. And he's like, I'm just messing with you.
And he knows everyone.
Yeah, and knows everyone. He's like me. He's been a journeyman a little bit, and he's a catcher, so he knows like the umpires. He knows. I was in the outfield. I don't know anybody. Everybody's like, "Oh, the umpire." I'm like, bro, I had no interaction with the umpire. You know what I mean? I don't know. I have no some of it. I know the bad ones' names, but other than that, I don't know too many umpires. But when you're a catcher, you're immersed with the pitching staff, the players. Like you know everything. That's why I'm surprised you're gonna be a manager one day if you choose to.
Got to be home. Got to be home right now. And I couldn't. And I gotta say too, I couldn't wear the other article of clothing that Juan P got me. This one he just gave me.
Yeah.
I know nothing's free in life, but this was a free shirt. Juan P gave me my suit that I wear all the time.
Oh.
First dude to buy me a suit in the show.
Wow, that's
cool. Yep.
Pass it on. Everybody passes it on, and Juan P was like, we were in Cincinnati. He goes, hey, I got, what's his name? Dominique? No.
Yep.
Dominique. He said, hey, Dominique's coming into Cincinnati. He's like, I want you and Mayberry and see if Dom can come in, see if D Brown can come in. And about that man's suit, it is it's a nice suit.
And they did it for me, and that's why baseball is. I mean, I think it's kind of lost in the shuffle a little bit now because everybody's so young. You know what I mean? Or you don't have the veteran guy kind of taking care of it. You got like blind now. But that's what it was. I remember Todd Hollingsworth, Terry Sherman brought me my first suit, and I was like, man, if I ever get in positions to do this, I will do this because it leaves an impact on you. You know.
Well, that's really cool. Yeah. No, and we've asked guys about it. So it's being carried on, but it's like the 26-year-old for the 20-year-old or something like that. Where you're like, what?
And they probably buy them like ripped up jeans now and stuff or something.
Right. Maybe
the style has changed.
They don't have to wear suits anymore, so it might be a sports code or something. You know, I know the one year they gave the rookies like PlayStations or something. So I don't know.
Which I don't hate that.
No, hey.
I mean, you don't want to just get them something that they're not going to use.
Right.
It's about a gift.
Well, and they're all gamers, half of them now too. So it's another story. But Juan, awesome catching up with you, man. Appreciate your time.
Thank you guys, man. Anytime you need me on, man, I'm here for you. Loving what you guys are doing.